Welcome back to my channel. This is a review with swatches of the City Color Barely Exposed palette. If you like to get my take in using this palette, what I think about it, how the color payoff is, how the choice of colors that are in here, its convenience in terms of packaging, all that stuff. Please keep on watching. Palette, I think I have another neutral palette that came out. I think it was called Bear from last year. I was actually gifted that by Super Makeup Addicted on her channel. That's the name of her channel. Her name is Ishi. And then this one, I really was not so enthused in getting it, but then the same person who opted to getting this for me, she said she really liked it. She posted a video with swatches and all that, and I thought, okay, I would try it. And so this, I know that on City Color Cosmetics this is available, I think, for like $8.99 US. Beauty supply stores may have it between $6 to $10 US, and my local beauty supply store had it for $40 to $80, which is about close to little less than $8 US. So it was very comparable to what City Color has. But if you go to Fame Expo or trade shows or any of those shows where City Color has their stuff on sale, you usually get this for about $5. And I also was told if you happen to go to their warehouse sale that you may get this or other palettes really inexpensive. So the price range for this, but this definitely is a beauty supply store brand, a beauty supply store product. So it's like a beauty on a budget kind of product. So let's get on with the packaging, what the product is about and all of that. And just so this palette comes with 12 eyeshadows, and you can actually see what eyeshadows you're getting because they have these little mirrors. It's very similar. This packaging reminds me of the bronzer that they have. It's like a quad with bronzing colors. The packaging is very similar in color. I think the bronzing color is a little more bronzy, where this is more brown, chocolate brown. The writing is in gold, which is pretty nice. And then the back has a sticker that has the information. It says what ingredients are in it, and then it says that there are 12 shadows at 0.025 ounces, or 12 shadows at 0.72 grams. And it's 12 months. It's a cruelty-free brand. It was made in the US, no, made in China, but distributed in the US. And so I noticed though that even when I was using it, that I seem to dent into, like, certain colors I used twice, I seem to dent into the pan a little more than usual. So I realized when I flipped to the back that it was really not a lot of product in each eyeshadow pan. So let's get started with the products themselves. The packaging is plastic, and it did give me a lot of trouble initially to open. So what I did, and I have this video on my vlog channel, is that I took a file. I did have a video on my channel here called Tips and Trick. I can't remember which number it was, but you can search for it. And it's where you file down the clasp here, and so it's easy to open. I can actually even open this with one hand. So it has a good sturdy click to it, and it's difficult initially. When you get it to open, you do that little trick and still works, and you can decide how easy you want to make it depending on, you know, what type of person. I'm a klutz, so I need to still have it a little secure where it has a little click to it, so I know the product is secure inside. Comes with a mirror that's band straight across. I like the idea that you get these peepholes so that if you're purchasing, you can see the colors and know, okay, is this for me or not? Do I have colors very similar? For me, I have colors very similar, which is why I actually initially didn't want to use it or get it, but I felt it would be nice to do a review because everyone was comparing this to the Naked palette. So I have the Naked Dupe palette, I have my Reveal palette, and then I have the Bear palette, which was another City Color palette, and also people say that was a dupe, and that one is super pigmented in itself. And so you have this. Now I also have one, I think, from Forever 21 that I have not really used in any weekly basket. I've swatched, and sadly I've never placed it in a weekly basket. So I felt all of those neutral eyeshadows I don't generally use all of them, and because of my weekly basket, like I have the Laura Pro dupe, I have the Unzip dupe, and the original. I recently hauled the Kat Von D, and I got gifted a Too Faced palette and the Vice, all of these palettes, do I really need to get this? So I thought it would be very good for me to review, so that those of you who have a lot of eyeshadows, do you think that you should get this? Is it a nice handy palette for travel? You know, just talk to you guys about the different variables with it and let you know. So you get these are the 12 shadows, and for me it has a combination of the Naked 1 and Naked 2, and why I say that is because of this color in particular that's here, and even like this color that's there, and maybe 1 or 2. Just I find maybe it's just to make a combination of the Naked 1 and 2. Maybe just this color solely just sold me into the 2, but a majority of it is Naked 1, and it's also revealed from Coastal Scents. It will be the first reveal. So that is what the colors look like. Let me just show you guys closer. So it's 12, and you have the, of course, the different finishes where you have the matte, the shimmery, the glittery, frosty kind of colors, and then the satin ones. And the pans are very tiny. It's small in size compared to the Naked palette. It's much thicker than the Naked palette. In my opinion, I think it's a bit thicker the Naked, about the same, but it's definitely in terms of thickness here more than the Coastal Scents palette, but it is smaller in terms of width than the Coastal, because the Coastal Scents comes out somewhere about here, and of course that one doesn't have a mirror or you can see the product. So I am going to swatch them, and I've decided to use an eyeshadow base in swatching, and that is really because I find that when I swatch them dry, some of the colors, especially dark colors, you do see the color peel off of my hand, but then it kind of fades and goes away. So I know for sure, I can tell you that this is one of those shadows where you have to use primer and more or less use a base if you want to get long way with the eyeshadow. So I have here my Continuous Almond from Jordana, which is what I always or generally use when I in my pin on eyeshadows. It has been in my routine for a couple months because I'm trying to finish this pencil. So I decided, since that's what I have used when I'm using this particular palette, that I was going to swatch it with this, and you would get more or less the true color. As against, I've used like a black eyeliner if I want to get a smoky eye. This look that I did create, very simple work look, I did use this instead of a black base or anything like that, but if you want it really more smoked out, definitely use a black pencil. If you don't have a black base, a black eyeliner works. You just smudge it out, blend it out, and then you apply your eyeshadows. So let's get on to the swatches. The other thing, I am using a brush to swatch. I can't swatch because my fingers are very chubby, and let's just compare them. Like, really and truly, my fingers do sink in a bit, and when you swatch with my fingers, like this color I got in, but somehow like this I barely just surfaced it, and so because of that I prefer to use, like this finger can even go in properly, I just prefer to use the brush. So I just thought I will let you guys know that I'm doing that, so I will be like stopping and wiping and that kind of stuff. So we're gonna have my base on here. We're gonna go with this first color, and my brush is clean, and it is it's okay. So these two are very similar, but this one has a little more pinky tone to it, where this one is really more champagne. So that's it on the brush and swatched, and that's one swipe there, and we're just gonna put 2 swipes for you guys to see. So that is the first color. I know you guys can barely see it, but it is the highlighting color, and I have been using it strictly as highlighting. I tried one time putting it all over my lid, but it almost fell apart. It didn't keep together. It didn't go like, because I have used a lot of these colors sometimes as a quick lid color, a dark color in the crease, blend it out, and maybe a neutral matte color on my brow bone. But this one, the shimmer disappeared, and then there was almost like just my base. So the next color, which is more, a little more pinky tone, that's what it looks like on the brush, and we will swatch it. It's again, you can see the little flecks of pink in it. I don't know if you guys can see clearly, but it's, oh, my puppy is barking, I'm so sorry, but you can see it's more maybe coming off a little peachy and metallic a bit because the brush was slightly damp. So then we go on to the next color, which is a nude color. That's the color there, and I can tell you this color does not have much color payoff at all. As you can see, it's a very neutral color. I have used it to blend out even like in the crease area going up to the brow bone, but I don't get a lot of color payoff from it even. So I'm like here trying to work on it, and that's it, barely there. The other thing, I don't know if you guys can see this, but it has white chunks in it, which when I see this, generally it indicates that the product is powdery. And I notice no matter how much times I really try to work with it, that a lot of I really can't use it as a transition color, which is a little bummer for me because it's one of the only matte colors in the palette. So next we have a very gorgeous color. That's this one here. It's a nice frosty color. I've used this all over the lid already, and that's like one swipe of it there. It's a nice neutral, perfect for everyday wear, or even for work, like an everyday work wear. Has a nice brown but shimmery. It is not too like boldly bronzy out in your face. It's very neutral for work. Then we have a kind of satin appeared color, which can be used as a crease color, and I've actually used this to help blend out my crease. So that's one swipe of it. It's not matte, it's satin. If you look at it, you may think it has a little shimmer, but really and truly it doesn't. Now if you want an all over the lid color that is super neutral, then this is it. If you are darker skin tone, you can get away with actually using this as a blending color. So darker skin tone, this is a blending color for you. And then we go to this color here, which is your nice kind of gold, like gold and champagne kind of color all in one. That's one swatch. I was very disappointed in the color. You can barely even see anything there. So I will try to build it again. I'm blowing out because I do have a fallout. So color is almost next to nothing. You don't really see that gold shimmer at all. So this was another letdown for me. So we go into the latter 6 colors here. And this bronzy color here, you can see I've made a dent in it. I've maybe used it twice already, and I've made a considerable dent in the corner there. I don't know if you guys can actually see that. That's around there. And I like to generally, this sounds weird, but I generally use colors like my shadows in one particular corner and work it down, whereas or sometimes in the middle, and I stick to that spot. I don't know. So that is one swipe there. You can see it's very metallic and has a sheen, but that's just one swipe. It's very metallic and gorgeous. This is like my favorite color in this palette. So I'm building it up, and you can see it's just like a nice bronzy color there. Ooh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's perfect for like a nice bronzy look. You put that on the lid and put one of the darker colors, or even if you have like a burgundy color from another palette, it's gorgeous. Then the color that I have on my lid, which is this color here, because I was going for a brown smoky look. I wasn't sure if I wiped my brush off, so I decided to just wipe it off again. So that's the brown. You can see the darker colors, how the pigmentation pops. So this is two layers, and then like I said, I actually do have it on my lid. Then we have this color, which I thought came from the Naked 2 palette. So that's one layer of it there. See the little traces of the other shadow, so let me make sure I wipe it off clean. So that's 2 layers of it, and the brush is slightly damp, so I think I really want to dust it off and then just do that color again for you, because that is with the brush being wet. So that's it there. Apply it dry. That's one layer, and a second layer. So this color actually, when it's applied wet, it's a bit darker. I don't know if you guys can notice that it's a bit darker. So that's it when it's applied dry. So we go to the nice color here. This color reminds me so much of that MAC eyeshadow. Oh my gosh, but I know I have a pigment from Halna Rustic with the same color. What is that? It's like a black toned, it's like a black toned color. I will insert it if I find out the name, but it's like a really dark burgundy that's black tone. I'm sure as soon as the video is finished I'll remember, but that's one swipe of it there. Have to build on this one. That's 2. And that's 3 of it. I actually think, sorry, this is the color I think I have actually on my lid, and I remember having to pack it on a bit, so I don't think it's this brown one here, but it's actually this color here. So I thought it was that brown, this brown here, but it's really this one. And then we have this black color that has glitters in it, and you guys can see the glitters. It's like the glitters appear to be chunky. Ooh. And this black is gorgeous. You get in the glitter with the silver flexes in it. So that's one. There's a little fallout, but that's the second one. And I forgot that was video, that I thought I was videoing, but I really wasn't. I didn't press to record. So that's one layer of this gorgeous gray color. I find that very few palettes do a miss when it comes to these metallic gray colors. So that's 2 layers of it. So that's the 12 in total colors, and as you can see, the lighter half is really a downer, and the darker colors are really gorgeous in itself. And that is kind of like what I realized, that really and truly the second half, the last 6 colors, are the really good colors. This is a nice color here. This is that gold color I told you about. So this is a nice color here, and this one is too golden kind of color for a highlight. It's gonna really come off. These two can work as highlighters, like really just the tip of your brow. You can tip it there and then use a matte color and blend it out, because that's what I generally do. I know everyone says, even someone comments in my video, don't put shimmer on your brow. I don't really put extremely shimmery or metallic colors there, and if I do, I blend it out with a matte color. But sometimes with a matte color, it doesn't give that much dimension. If you want your arch to pop and all of that, you definitely would need to put something that's a little, you know, shimmery to give some sort of light. So that is the palette there. That's the swatches with a base. I'm going to leave you guys to come up with your own conclusion, but I can tell you my take on it is that for me it's not worth the price. I think that I've had some e.l.f. palettes, like there's one that has I think 6 colors, there's 6 span. I have done a review on the one that I had, and those 6 colors all were amazing. So e.l.f. has a couple 6 span eyeshadow palettes that are pretty much the same price or even less, because I think those are like $5 or $6 US, and they work as good as, they work as best as these are. And to me 6 out of 12 here that work really well. I've had other e.l.f. palettes. I've had like even Beauty Treats palettes that work just as good as these shadows. These aren't anything phenomenal. My 2 favorite are actually these 2 colors here, which I've had in other palettes. I have hardly ever used any silver colors, which I really want to play around with soon. I don't really use black or charcoal colors a lot because I look all punched out. To me, it's not an outstanding palette. I know a lot of people rave about it, and I'm sorry. This is just my opinion and how it works to me. I have oily lids. I have to use a base. I have to use a primer to keep down the lids, to keep down the oil, sorry, on my lids. These shadows do not wear for long with me. I found out that one day I had a have like a regular 12-hour day, and halfway through when I came to drop the kids home, I had to literally touch up my eyeshadow, which is not something I usually do, even with my starry palettes and stuff like that. So I was a little bummed out with that. I think maybe that's what experiences all in all. It's where I'm going with this. It's not a good long wear palette. If you want quick eyeshadows just to say run errands, or if days are short, then this is it. If you don't have oil lids, maybe this is going to work amazing for you. With a wide base, it's going to also pop, but a neutral base like this, Jordana Continuous Almond, works almost as good. And maybe, I don't think a tackier base is going to, because I have used another can't remember what it's called, the Graftopian. I actually did put that on my hand and try swatching it, and I did not get any outstanding pigmentation from the lighter colors like as against when I was using this. Primer really did not pop the colors as much as I was hoping them to. The base did really make the difference. So all in all, this is not a great palette for me. I give it a 3 out of 5. I still prefer to get my Urban Decay dupe, Naked One dupe, or even my Coastal Scents Reveal palette. I absolutely think that that palette is worth every penny that you'll ever pay for it, because almost all the shadows in that palette are 20, and I think in my, it was like 17 or 18 were amazing, and they may just had 1 or 2 that were listed, you know, and I think those were the matte colors. I'm thinking, I can't even remember, but I absolutely love both of my Reveal palettes. They're like one of the best buys in terms of palette wise for me of all times. These kind of come even close to Wet n Wild 8-pan palettes, because they are in itself amazing. Generally with an 8-pan palette, which is $5 US, which is around the same price of this. If you check your beauty supply stores and your resellers, they're about the same price. Wet n Wild is again another, to me they're better investment. I have purchased these as gifts for friends because they were dying to get this, and I have been feeling so bad to give it to them after I've used it. So I think most people, I will actually just let them know I'm giving it to them just because I heard that they wanted it, like a little disclaimer in it. But personally, I would recommend people to get this. They're, to me, other neutral palettes. I love City Color products. I have raved a lot about some other products. You can check my channel. For me, this just is not a palette to invest. If you have the Bear works better than this, in my opinion. Again, this is my opinion and my experience of what I have gone through with this. The swatches are here as against my skin tone, my skin color. I'm sure if you may be darker, it may appear differently on you. So if you have it, let me know how it works for you, because again, everyone is different. I hope I did not offend anyone by saying that I don't like it, because I know a lot of people are raving about it. It just didn't work for me, and as a neutral palette where I have quite a lot of other neutral palettes, this would definitely not be something I'll reach to unless it's in a weekly basket and I am forced to literally use it. So I hope this review was helpful for those of you who wanted to get my opinion in it. That's my opinion, and I hope you guys enjoy. Till my next review. Bye.